Yeah, I love when everybody just looks my way.
I was gonna say, can we start it off with that? Is that the start of the podcast?
Yeah, we can do
just
it.
all of us going.
Just
Drew.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Gamecast. This is episode 2.
We made it to 2.
We made it to 2. They didn't kick us off, so I guess we gotta get started here. So we had a bit of an event this weekend, and I'm gonna actually kick Corey out of the way. Corey, step aside.
Oh, right off the table?
Right off the table. Steve, squeeze in here, buddy. We are getting the cameraman, the guy who's hidden behind the camera all the time. You never see him. Steve, myself, and Nathan went down to Toronto, and we checked out EGLX. Steve, come around this way. Doesn't matter. You're Canadian.
Get in here. Let's go.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, buddy.
Come on around. All right, so I want to talk briefly because 3 of us were able to go. Corey and Randall were busy, which is cool, but... Guys, what do you think of your event there down in Toronto, EGLX? This is their 2nd season. Honestly, I had a great time this time.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience to remember, man. I've never really been to an event where they have, a few different actual professional esport teams playing and competing against each other. We got to try out the new Super Smash Brothers, which was really cool.
Yes. Yeah. So I've never really played Smash, I'm going to be honest. So for this, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I honestly got confused a lot of the time because Nintendo is notorious for having their buttons backwards. Right? Like, I'm an Xbox and PlayStation guy, so to go to Nintendo and to try to jump.
Because A and B are backwards, and B is always back.
Why?
And it's opposite.
I mean, for me personally, I just loved the experience. It was my first ever event, Gaming Expo, and the atmosphere, the energy... It was just like a kid in a candy shop. It was just like, where do we go? What do we look at? And it was
where do you start, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We got to meet a lot of really cool people. We made some really good contacts. Got to try out some really fantastic games, and
yeah, there's some good games there. Like you got to check out the VR game Ferocious Sea.
Yeah, that was really cool, man. At first. First 2 minutes, I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope I don't get motion sick.
Sure.
But they nailed it, man. They absolutely nailed it. It is.
And you were in that queue for a long time.
I was.
Because we thought you'll be in and out,
man.
but there's people queuing up.
Yeah.
It did look awesome. They had the ambience of the people dressed as pirates.
Yeah.
It was really.
It looked like a really fun game.
Well, it was like Sea of Thieves in VR, right? Like, what else could you ask for? That was really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And actually, that's one of the things they said. They were presenting their game. I can't remember what event it was, but they were presenting it, and Rare actually approached them and were like, how did you crack the code for a C-based VR game? Because Sea of Thieves really tried to do it, but they couldn't master it.
Sure.
And, Sea of Thieves, I'm kind of glad they did what they did because I love the game.
I'm glad Sea of Thieves are where they're at, but it's nice to see another developer like those guys bring up Ferocious Sea and to see that.
It's Furious Seas. I just had to
Oh, thank you.
Ferocious. It's Furious.
Thank you.
Failed.
That's all right. So,
but you know what?
We know
what
we're doing. We
promise. Again, for the first Game Expo, how friendly everyone is and welcoming. And they're just so happy to sort of, hey, come over here, check this game out and talk about it. And
that's the cool thing, though, right? Like, these are our people. This is the people that we want to hang out with, that want to talk about video games all the time. And that's why we're here, and that's why they're there. So it's just one giant happy family, really.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Totally
Really is a community, yeah.
Yeah, there's a community like no other, really. Like, games bring people together like I've never seen before. Whether you're over the headset or in a convention like this, it was awesome. There are all kinds of games we got to check out, from a unique MMO that they're starting, like Ken Hall. We got to interview him at Two Dog Games. Two Dogs is a cool studio, and what they're bringing up in 2019, I think, looks quite interesting.
Yeah, Destiny Sword, I really like the concept, man.
The concept is very cool. So if those who haven't caught the show, the concept behind this is most MMOs are out there to kind of just hack and slash your way to the top. And now you're actually taking your character and worried about their psychological well-being and their mental state. And that's what you're crafting on. but you're also having that combat as well. It's really cool.
And it's not just one person. I believe you're doing it for a whole crew.
There's 60 people up to 60 people in a guild.
Yeah, in a guild,
wow.
right? And you all go out in this guild and stuff. Yeah, it's intense. So you guys definitely need to check out the interview with Ken Hall.
That's a couple of hours play there.
Yeah, just a few, right? It was cool too. The minute we walked in, like you said, Nate, all that esports stuff on the one side, on the left-hand side, it was massive. So there was CS:GO, that was there. There was Smash was happening.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z was happening. Like all kinds of stuff. It was fantastic to watch. Huge stage over on the right-hand side. Kind of Funny Games were there.
You got to take a picture with Greg Miller.
Yeah,
Your heroes.
It was cool, man.
Yeah, it was very cool, right? Like I've looked up to Greg Miller and Nick Scarpino for years, so I followed Greg since Beyond Days in the early 150 episode. So for him to reach 300 on Beyond and then keep going and then start Kind of Funny and finally actually get to meet Greg, yeah, it was kind of a highlight of my career.
Yeah,
I mean, that grin in your face. You get start for the next Joker. that was beaming.
Yeah, it was a highlight, right? I'm not gonna lie, that was very cool to see those guys finally get to meet them. So, but yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, all kind of cool developers, a lot of indie stuff too, and a lot of artists. There's like a whole artist alley. So I picked up a couple cards because there's some pretty wicked artwork.
Oh, there
there.
was some fantastic artwork there, man.
You should have bought some of your own artwork with
I could have maybe, but
It's a little stall up, you know.
I was there for something else. Right? I
Yay.
wasn't there for me. I was there to talk to these people and have a good time. We got to play a bunch of cool games.
Yeah.
And very interesting people
Yeah.
from all walks of life, like the two guys from Toronto Basement.
Yes.
The game that you want to get on.
Schwip.
Game on.
We're gonna get Schwip on. Game on. This is gonna be a wild one.
you guys.
Nah, man, I smoked you that
Yeah,
one
you
game.
did.
Yeah, I did. It was fun. It was so good.
That's why you didn't let me have a go, because I would have beaten both of you.
All right, final thoughts on the event, guys.
Oh, I'm looking forward to next year, man. I can't wait. It's just gonna get bigger and better. So
Yeah.
it's exciting, and
I just say bring it on. I just want the next one and the next one. I'm just loving the buzz, the vibe. Like for me, I'm just so hyped about it all because there's everything going on. There's all different walks of life. It's it just keeps on going. It just gets on better and better.
I thought it was a great convention. So only 2 seasons in, like they're really coming along, and there's a lot of people there in those 3 days. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going next year.
Sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, next year we'll get you there, Randall.
Oh yes.
All right, Steve, I think we'll get you back behind the camera, and we'll bring out Corey. I'm pretty sure he's done crying behind the curtain. So,
Corey.
come on back, Corey.
Corey.
Back.
All right.
All right, here he is.
Oh, what are you busting? What are you busting
Steve's
over
breaking
there?
stuff here.
It's just Steve.
He's making his way. It's
That was an
okay.
Olympic effort, Steve.
All right. So Sony announced this week the 20 games coming to the PlayStation Classic.
I'm glad to have that thing back.
Are you excited?
Well, I don't know. I'm an Xbox guy now,
Sure.
but I was a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 guy.
Yeah.
And I played so many games on the PS1. So I'm kind of excited to have this system kind of coming back.
But dude,
Make a resurgence.
64 had better graphics than PlayStation.
But I had
You guys remember that?
but I had both consoles.
There we go.
over here.
All right, Randall, why don't you list off the 20 games? Because I got a couple highlights on there.
Sure. So we have Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2,
Ooh, I love cool boys.
Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII, my all-time favorite, GTA, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Drew's favorite,
There it is. There it
Mr.
is.
Driller, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Got Rayman,
Classic.
Resident Evil Director's Cut,
Great.
Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4,
Oh, Ridge
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter,
Oh,
Tekken 3.
Siphon Filter?
Yeah,
I actually played that game like religiously. I loved that game.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, another favorite,
Twisted Metal.
and Wild Arms. But I have one question: where is Spyro?
Well, okay, let's get before we
HD
get there,
remake.
because there's a couple.
Before we get to the hate.
Well,
like a WTF moment. Like, why?
well, that's because let's be honest, Spyro's getting remade, so they're not going to put it on here,
That's true.
right? When the
that's
remaster's
exactly
coming out, it's like, where's Crash? Well, it's because we just got a Crash remake.
Okay, but
Right.
then why are they remastering Final Fantasy VII right now? Then
because you're not going to get that for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
If we're lucky, Shay.
They'd have to make a new console for it, I think.
That's true.
But wait, when that new
PS5?
Spyro drops, they'll add Spyro to that for
Yeah,
sure. They
for
will.
sure.
See, I don't see them updating this, right?
No?
I think the 20 is what you get, and that's all you're going to get. So you get this console and maybe what PlayStation 2 Classic,
Maybe.
right? I can see that.
maybe.
Nintendo's milking it. Nintendo's milking it. So why not go?
Why not Sony milk it?
Well, exactly, right? It's only a matter of time because they're going to do the same.
Or
Yeah,
like
it's
another
true.
PS Vita classic, maybe?
Oh man, rest in peace, Vita. Vita Island. There's only a few of us left on that island, and I'm still floating there.
I'm still
It's
kind of there.
awful.
Wilson!
Wilson.
There's room for both of you on the door.
Fire.
There's room for both of you on the door.
Man, I loved my
Bros.
Vita. It was so good. But yeah, getting back to the PlayStation Classics, Grand Theft Auto,
Oh, yeah.
Top down.
Top
Top down.
right?
Top down,
right?
baby.
Cool Borders 2 was so good.
That was a great game.
It was fantastic.
That's great that they're including that game on there.
Destruction Derby though. Like, come on.
It's
really?
it's there's not a lot of content in that game, but it is if you like smashing cars up, it's fun.
it's fun, right? But yeah, you got your Twisted Metal. I think that was.
Oh, yeah.
But Twisted Metal versus Twisted Metal 2, like.
Yeah, Twisted Metal 2 is a good game.
Would
But
have been a
I
better
mean, yeah,
choice.
if we're gonna remake it, try to get the better title, I guess. But
Well, yeah.
I mean, just putting Twisted Metal on that list is, I think, is gonna satisfy a lot of people. Like, I'm already excited for it.
Yeah, it was cool. And of course, my personal favorite, Metal Gear Solid, man. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to get one of these now.
Like, you're just gonna spend the $100 to play a game
Just play
you played
one
the crap
game.
out of already.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Right. So honestly, I think that's a pretty good list. There's a couple things I wouldn't mind seeing added to it, but overall, it's not bad. But yeah, December 3rd in Canada, it's coming. So it's just around the corner.
So,
like
yeah,
we're not
it's
far
a
off.
Christmas present for sure.
Oh, they got the time for
That's
Christmas.
a smart drop, though. They have to do that.
Absolutely. We're right there, right?
What
so
do you
yeah.
guys think? Do you think they'll be limited like Nintendo did? Because when they launched their SNES remaster, it was like sold out within hours.
Yeah, you couldn't find that
Yeah.
thing anywhere.
I went
Yeah.
to EB and they're like, just forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're better
Yeah.
off just making one or finding your old system somewhere.
Yeah.
I think you kind of hit it there, Nate. I think they will be limited. I don't think you're gonna get a lot of these out there, so you're gonna have to order
I
it
just
now.
never understood why.
The pre-orders have already
No.
been out and sold out, I believe. So I don't
Yeah.
know if you'll even get one now.
Well, that's the thing. They know the demand's
Oh, yeah.
there. They know the demand's there for them, so just make the consoles.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Right.
right? Yeah. Overwatch, guys. Finally getting into some Overwatch esports. We're covering a lot of esports lately with Fortnite and Rainbow.
Yeah.
Both of which are coming to an end. So we will be at the Canadian Nationals down in Toronto for Rainbow Six Siege
Can't wait. Can't
this
wait.
weekend. So most of us will be there covering that. That'll wrap up that season. Corey, you and I just wrapped up Fortnite Grand Finals from TwitchCon.
I'm still sweating from watching those gameplays, man. It's crazy.
It's
wild.
It's the movement that they're able to pull off. Like, they'll build something in 2 seconds flat that I'm like, okay, where is my keyboard and where am I hitting this? And like I'm dead already.
Yeah, no, it's
Uh,
it's impressive. It is a sport. They've turned a game into a sport, and I know that's what esports is all about, obviously. But for some reason, maybe because I play a lot of that game, it resonates with me. Like, I feel like I'm watching a sporting event when I watch these tournaments.
Well, and I thought Courage and Dr. Lupo did a fantastic job casting the Grand Finals.
It was great because you've got two guys that play this game as a full-time job almost. And so their understanding of the game and what's going on helps people that maybe don't know what's going on
Sure.
kind of get a little more involved. And they just did a great job calling it. You know, they're calling it like, oh, when big events are happening, big things are happening. So it makes it fun to watch, right? And that's what kind of gives you that sporting feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a ton of fun to watch. I had a great time watching it.
Oh, yeah, it was
my son and I watched the what was it, Streamer Invitationals.
Yeah.
That was cool, right? That was that Mark Aloris. Is that
Yeah.
who that is?
Yeah.
That guy's insane. Like, the way he was just annihilating everybody. It was fantastic. He was so cool to watch. Yeah, overall, Fortnite, though I struggle at it, is a fantastic game to actually watch and follow along.
Yeah, like I'm almost catching myself watching more people playing it than myself, like playing it myself now, because it's so enjoyable to watch it. It's crazy. I'm not doing anything else sometimes. I'm like, I've watched too much Fortnite.
Well, yeah. Another cool thing this week, Xbox hit us up with an ID at Xbox, kind of like a share little information. They've got something spanning 67 countries across the globe, over 4 billion hours played on ID at Xbox titles throughout the community, more than $1 billion made in revenue.
That's wild.
That is huge.
That's
For a
That's
kind of a
massive.
not a I'm not going to say a pilot
indie?
project, but something that they kind of just released and it's gone like wildfire.
Yeah, it has, right? And they said they shared over 1,000 games been released from the ID at Xbox. They've got over 3,000 studios in development right now, creating more titles.
Wow.
So yeah,
It's impressive.
I'm
Honestly,
really happy to see Xbox kind of taking off with the indie market. That's pretty awesome because they were lacking. Like Sony really just.
I'm
been
starting to
owning it.
see Sony kind of crawl back to when they were so high on their horse from the PS3 days, and I'm starting to see this decline where I think Sony's starting to fall back into that stage, and Microsoft has played that catch up for so long that now they're starting to go, you know what? We have all these platforms and all these like games with the Game Pass situation and all these other
Games
steps,
with gold, all that.
all these steps that they're making going forward, and especially with the next console for Xbox, I could see this switch coming around, being Xbox becoming the leader, and maybe Sony trying to play catch up. Because now you see Sony with the PlayStation Now just adding download to theirs, right? Where the Game Pass has already had download from the get go.
Exactly. Yeah, I know it's funny to see how the two compete and how they've always, it's always been a race, a rat race with these two.
Yeah.
But you're right, Sony's kind of lazing it up, and then the grind's still going on for Microsoft, and they might pull them ahead if they keep going the way they're going.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope to see some really good exclusive titles.
Oh yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
Some more,
Well, there's the XO event coming too in Mexico, right? So they said this is going to be their biggest inside Xbox ever.
Okay.
So I would love to. Okay, so I'm caught, right? Because if you're going to do a big launch and have big announcements, Mexico City doesn't seem like the place to really do that.
No,
Like there is an audience there, but
Oh, for
honestly,
sure.
it's a Western field, right? Like
Yeah.
you're catering to the U.S., you're catering to Canada,
yeah.
right? You're catering to us, and then that's where like E3 obviously is huge. But that's where the announcements are. So I'm hoping they kind of have something to like. They bought 5 new developers. They just announced those at E3, so they're bringing those into the field. So to have more titles, they need something. Because what do they have right now for exclusives? Nothing. No, there is nothing. That's the thing. There's nothing coming out from Xbox right now.
No, like, no-
5?
No, that's not exclusive though.
Oh, it isn't.
I don't think so. I guarantee it's on Sony's platform. It's on PlayStation.
Thought it was.
I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't think so. But yeah, look that up.
The lack of exclusives is a problem, and they do need to fix that. That is one thing that maybe it doesn't seem like really they're focusing on, but I don't know. With community involvement, maybe that will become a thing in the future, but it's tough to say, right? Because when you're dealing with a company the size of Microsoft and they've got so many things going, especially on the Xbox platform right now,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if that even comes to fruition, if they do even address it.
Oh, they've got to do something.
They
right?
have to.
'Cause
No, I
their
agree,
First
they have
party
to.
is dire right now,
Yeah.
where Sony has just recently just crushed it.
Yeah.
Right, like Sony's crushing it with Spider-Man, with God of War this year. Like, there's so many titles that they have coming out. Detroit Become Human. Like, they've had their lineup go where you've got Microsoft and they have. I'm waiting. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
It's all gone. Where is it?
As an
Sea of
Xbox
Thieves?
guy,
Forza Horizon
Forza
4.
4.
I get
Forza
jealous.
Forza 4 was fantastic. Absolutely.
Because I want to play some of these games, but I don't have that console, right? And it's,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's always been that way, but Sony
Sure.
lately keeps coming out with more and more games that are exclusive to Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look like great games, and you guys have even told me these games are amazing. So
They're
it's
fantastic,
It's
right?
it's buy that console because I want to play those games.
Yeah, that's fair. Nate, what do you find? Anything over there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on all.
Yeah, it is on all platforms. I kind of thought so, right? So, they've also announced games with gold, which I thought had some pretty cool titles,
Oh yeah.
right?
This year was this month was a good month. Or
Next month.
Yeah, next month.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying
Right?
to say.
Yeah.
It's all November.
Coming
It's
in
all
November.
This
So,
coming month.
yeah.
Thank you. Free games. What could be wrong with
Assassin's Creed, the original. Like, this isn't going to be for everybody, but I'm excited.
that? Oh yeah.
I played the game, so
definitely.
I'll probably download it just to get back into it and be like, oh, I love the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
But it was a great game when it came out.
Oh,
it was
man.
just something we've never experienced before, right?
Yeah,
So-
it was kind of broke through a lot of barriers at
Yeah.
that time
man.
for the kind of gameplay that you were offered with that game. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
It was cool. Battlefield 1.
Yeah, that's a huge one, man.
That's impressive, honestly, to get that from EA. I'm shocked to see that on there.
It's a big title.
I think they're really trying to kind of push people to buying Battlefield 5. You know, check out
Sure.
this game, but if you want the latest, get Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Which I'm really afraid that's gonna tank, man.
Are you afraid Battlefield 5 is going to take?
Oh, absolutely.
Battlefield 1 is going to be tough to top. That game was a blast. I played so much of that game. I've just recently deleted a bunch of clips off my Xbox because I had so many.
Really?
Yeah,
eh?
no, it's a wild game. I mean, you see people dropping out of planes, landing in other planes. I mean, where are you going to get that? You get that nowhere else.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So November 1st, you're going to get Battlefield 1 and Assassin's Creed. And then on November 16th, you're getting Race the Sun and Dante's Inferno. So it's not a bad lineup,
that's a
really.
good one.
Right?
Yeah. No.
Sony also.
Probably one of the better of the year.
Well, they had to
honestly.
kind of fight back because what Sony, the PS4 Plus games that came out
Yeah.
2 months ago or a month ago.
yeah.
Those titles they had to compete with and bring out some bigger titles of their own with Xbox.
Well, yeah. And Sony just announced theirs, too. They got Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's okay, I
I've never
guess.
played that game.
No.
I like those
I,
kind
I
of
saw
games.
it, but yeah, I know. Yeah. Hello, Doom.
Hipfire,
yeah.
demon
Yeah.
slaying, man.
You're right. They got Yakuza, Kiwami. So that's
Don't know what that is.
it's like GTA in Tokyo
Oh, okay.
kind of thing, right?
Crime
Yeah,
boss,
Yeah. So it's cool if you're kind of like I could not get into that series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you
Use
have
it?
touched it a bit.
I have
Yeah,
tried it.
okay.
It never connected with me. You're doing some crazy stuff. Like you'll be going in a taxi stuff and you'll be singing and doing karaoke and like it's just I don't know, man. It's just not for me. I don't know. There's Jackbox Party Pack 2. What is that one? I've never heard of that
Arkedo
series.
series?
Who's that? Have you ever played that
Not
one?
sure.
I've never played that
No.
either.
What is it? Sorry.
Arkedo series.
Yeah.
Arquito.
Arkedo.
That's a negative on me. Here.
Burly Men at Sea. That was on
Yeah.
Vita.
Oh, right. Vita
That's on
Boys.
Vita,
Do you
so
remember
Vita's
that
still
one?
alive. My Vita's still there. And Roundabout as well, coming to Vita and crossplay with PS4. So some okay titles. Like this isn't really a standout compared to what Microsoft's bringing to this month.
They cooled off a bit from the past month.
I find that they do that a lot, right? You get one fantastic month, and the next month you're kind of going a little lower.
You can't have blockbusters every month.
No. So I don't know. It's been an interesting week, and I think the biggest part of the week was the fact that Red Dead crushed the numbers.
Yeah,
the box.
big time.
Right.
Game.
Oh man, $725 million in 3 days. Not a bad opening.
Dude, that's 3 days. Give it like till after Christmas.
Christmas.
It's gonna be
Whoa.
ridiculous.
We're talking like $1 billion plus.
You just wait till you get there, and then even go further. They haven't even launched the online portion of it, right?
Yeah.
Red Dead Online's not here yet. You know what's coming. We all know what's coming. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of a month or a month and a half.
And you know what? If it's going to take a little bit of extra time to make it what they want it to be, then it's worth the wait. I mean, people have waited 5 years since the last Rockstar game, GTA 5.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the time between Red Dead and GTA 5, the first Red Dead.
I think it's close to 10
So
years.
Yeah.
and now you're thinking
8.
Red Dead to Red Dead 2. Everybody, I played Red Dead Redemption. I love that game. And as soon as I heard that they were going to make a second one,
Oh yeah, everybody's on
dude,
it, right?
Just start playing it. You will be hooked immediately.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait to get into it.
Well, see, now this is where you and I both disagree, because Red Dead
here we go.
isn't striking it with me at all.
What?
Not loving it?
I am not feeling this game. I'm on the other side of the fence on this one. It is slow.
It does have a slow start.
It
but
is
give it a
so
chance.
slow. I'm a couple hours in. I'm like, I have so many other things I could be playing. I just don't know if I really want to do this right now.
Darn.
Right? Like,
Yeah, I'm on the opposite
You
side
might
of
be
the
sorry, yeah.
fence.
yeah, I
But
know.
you were saying hit and miss, right? You're getting the game's getting mixed reviews, and
It
you guys
is.
are at the ends of those that spectrum, right?
Yeah, it's some people are loving it and giving it tens, and there are people like myself are just it's not connecting.
Man, I was chasing somebody on a horse, and I lassoed him, but I was like kind of stumbled with my controls, and there's a train right beside me. Ran right into the train, and it killed my horse. I was like, I've knocked my horse out or whatever, but I
Yeah.
didn't realize they actually die. Like, I
Oh,
lost my
yeah.
horse, man. I had to steal
That's-
someone else's horse and
There-
claim it as my own.
So what Red Dead or what the Rockstar have done is they've created such a huge world to get from point A to point B.
Takes time.
It
man.
takes like there's no
one
fast
thing.
travel, right?
They need to
It's-
have fast travel.
The first
man.
game was like that too, but we got to remember, it's the Wild West.
Well, and that's what they're going for, right? When you think about how it was back then, it does take you from
There's
point
no
A
such
to
thing
point
as
B.
fast travel.
No, you can't just blink and you're there. It doesn't work that way, right? This isn't Assassin's Creed. I'm going from one sync point to the next, and hey, I just traveled halfway across the map.
No animus in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was right. Where's John Marston? Poof, here I am. Right? Like, yeah. No, Arthur has to hop on the horse and take your time to get to the next point. Yeah. So the whole game is a much slower feel.
Yeah, I love, like, Arthur is so awesome, and just the way they interact with just random AI, like, it is so cool. I walked outside a bar and the guy's like, "Hey, you looking at me funny?" And I was like,
yeah,
what? And then he just shoves me, shoved me in the mud, and then I beat him up. and then I was a kid, and then I picked his body up, walked over to train tracks, waited 10 minutes until he got hit by a train. I was like,
me now.
This is something I do when I was 10, but I'm gonna do it again.
And this is what Red Dead brings: is opportunities out of nowhere that other games just don't have, right?
Yeah.
It's so there's the world is yours and you can be so creative in it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even played the second one. I'm just going off what I did in the first one and
Sure.
what you guys told me about this one. It's
And there's a whole honor system, so you can be a good bad guy, or you can just be a straight up bad guy. You know, like someone's like, "Oh,
it's
help
easy to
me,
be
my
bad,
leg's
isn't
broken."
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's easy to be bad.
Yeah, exactly. I was bad. Sorry, another one more moment.
Hey, we got all day, man.
Yeah,
This is why we do this, right? This is where we get our time to kind of just brag and discuss where we enjoy those moments, right? So it's just a conversation.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'm just walking around, and then I hear this guy's like, "Hey, you wanna do some target practice?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. So I walk off the hill, but I hit one of his targets over. He's like, "Hey, you hit my target over." And then he got all pissed off and he walked away. That was it. I was like, "Oh, I couldn't even do the side quest. I just lost honor points."
You ticked him
Just
off
so
and he's
funny.
just like, "I'm going home."
Yeah, exactly. I recorded it.
How far are you in the game right now?
So that's hard to say.
104 hours.
No, yeah. No, I wish I had that kind of time.
Yeah, not
No, I'm
anymore.
probably like 5 hours in. So the point I'm at is, let me think, where am I at? I'm kind of getting ready for the next heist. Like, have you done
Okay.
the train yet?
No, so I'm not even that far yet.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still in the snow, so I'm
Man,
really,
that's why you're
I'm really.
slow.
I know, but it's so slow.
Yeah.
This is why it's hard to kind of keep going, right? Where other games I'm playing have just sucked me in right away.
Yeah.
Like, man,
You got to
I
break through this one.
Well, I still want to go back to God of War. I still want to go back to Spider-Man. I still want to go back and finish Assassin's Creed. I want to, when all these other games I know I'm already having a great time with, and I'm struggling because the minute I played Red Dead, I'm like, I feel like I'm still walking around in GTA.
It's the Rockstar feel, right?
It's that Rockstar movement of like that clunky. What
I don't think it's clunky, man.
Man,
no,
I
I'm playing it, and it feels like everything you do is like the guy's actually moving. It doesn't feel clunky or
I don't
boxy.
know, man. I was
Every
just
single
struggling.
movement in that game is flawless.
Funny side note, because the system that generates like stuff like snow in that game is just so amazing, you should look online and see what people are actually like putting in.
I heard
as far as pictures. Like, I'm not gonna say what, but look it up. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard some.
There's some anatomy being drawn in the
Yeah.
snow.
Again, you can be as creative as you want.
It's all
They don't really
creativity.
put limits on it.
No, not in those games.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I definitely got to get back into it. You and I are going to review it next week
Yeah.
on the episode, so we'll definitely be jumping a lot more into that. I've got a lot more game to play, but
Well, Drew, they're making advancements in cloning, so if you just make another one of yourself, you could definitely get into that game while you play everything else.
I could use another me
We
right now.
3D print Drew.
Yeah, we're definitely busy. That's for sure, right? But I think is there any other games you guys want to talk about? You want to move
All
on
right,
to?
yeah. Let's talk about Fallout
Oh,
76.
okay, let's talk about this beta that
yes.
kind of happened, but really didn't happen, and people didn't really like it.
Yeah, so let's talk about the game that I went to go and play, and they're like, "Oh, it's only on for 2 hours." Oh, and then my brother, while we were at the EGLX,
Yeah.
he's like, he actually went to go and try it. He couldn't get past character customization because the game just kept crashing.
So they
So
Sweet
he's-
beta launch.
Yeah, that's a
Sweet
really
beta
good
launch.
beta launch,
Yeah,
guys.
really sweet.
When your game's coming out in less than a month, like we're talking 3 weeks, not even.
So you're kind of concerned then, are you?
Yeah,
Nate?
I wasn't, and I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Bethesda. They're perfect.
Yeah.
No, they're not perfect. Every game they put out is a bug.
No, but it's great. They're usually great.
Usually great. Something's
great
broken.
bug.
And Skyrim on 360
Don't worry,
was
Bethesda.
broken as AF, but it was so good.
Skyrim didn't even work right on PS3. Like, it was awful. You had to make sure every door was closed and everything's put back, or just crash your game.
Oh my!
Sony's just like, let's make another console. We got to make another console.
Well,
Just for this game.
it was honestly, Bethesda couldn't figure out the cell processor that was the main chip, the main board within the PS3.
Yeah.
It was complicated and just a mess for everybody, but some developers were able to figure it out. And Bethesda, because their game was so big and so open, every little minor detail had to be put back in place, otherwise it would just crash.
Yeah.
So it worked well on Xbox 360, but when it came to the PS3, man, oh yeah,
When you're dealing with games that size, I mean, there's always going to be issues, but we're talking about one of the biggest developers in the game.
They like Skyrim pushed those consoles to the absolute limit.
yeah.
The fans were running.
I know, but okay, but you still put GTA 5 on the PS3 without a problem,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair. 'cause
And if you want to compare sizes, like seriously, how
have you ever
big is that game?
backflipped a transport truck over a highway?
Let's see you do that in Skyrim.
Exactly.
Challenge accepted.
We're getting for
Alright.
PC,
Yeah.
boys. Yeah. So I found it interesting that you had a 2-hour window to try out their beta, and they came up with another beta for everybody, which was 4 hours. So
What's with the windows? Did they explain?
I don't know. And they even prefaced everybody with the fact of, hey, this is a beta. It is broken. It isn't quite polished. Heads up.
Please still like our game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like,
When
really?
you release a
Good,
beta
man.
of any kind of game, yeah, there's always going to be bugs that people are going to find, but they shouldn't be the forefront of the beta. People
No.
should have to get into it and maybe do things that wouldn't normally happen in the gameplay to find these bugs, and that's how that stuff gets fixed. Like you said, 3 weeks away, and they're dealing with they can't even get a beta out for people to play. That's a problem.
Yeah. Well,
You think
it's-
they're going to delay it after this, though?
No.
I don't know, because like some people got to the end of the beta. There was a very significant event that happened at the end of the beta, and a lot of people were really miffed about the end result.
Really?
Yeah. Very, very large explosion.
Huh.
And people were like, WTF, is that it?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
YouTube that stuff.
I'm not a huge Fallout guy
Same.
whatsoever, but I kind of
love
was
Fallout.
interested, right?
Yeah, I'm intrigued for the new game.
Yeah, I want to see what it's about. I don't mind the survival crafty stuff.
No, it's
so
cool. I like
I
that.
played Ark.
Dude,
I
the
played.
4 of us could all go rock out and do some dungeon hunting. Like that would actually be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be
That's something
fun,
I've
right?
always wanted to do in Fallout.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In an actual Fallout game with your buddies, not I think what they're doing with no AI and stuff. But I still have a little bit of faith still in Fallout 76.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still gonna play it, and I'm probably gonna.
It
love
already feels like it's not for me. I already see that, right? So
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. I want to see what it's about. Obviously, you're in. You're a big guy
I'm
too on
totally
it.
in,
So yeah, we'll definitely have it for the show. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't.
I'm gonna
I
try it
don't
out.
know.
I want to give it a go because I think maybe I can break into the whole Fallout thing with this game, but I don't know. Like,
I'd hate to say it though, like man, if you're gonna have your first Fallout game, I don't know which one to recommend. Any
New
of them,
Vegas.
really.
Yeah.
New Vegas.
Yeah, this is
3
probably not
was
it.
Amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
right?
no,
Because
it's
this
true.
isn't
Would
the
be this
true
one, no.
Fallout
Yeah.
format, right?
no,
like, this
no,
is something
it's a
completely
different
new.
style for them. Yeah,
Yeah, but
Or
but
if
maybe
you want-
that's why it'll cater more towards me because I didn't get into the other ones. I played some of the other ones, but I never
Yeah,
really
maybe.
got into them. But again, it's one of those things where it's maybe a little slower pace than I would like.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if you're a new user and you kind of want to break into that whole genre, try Metro 2033.
I heard
See if
that
you
was
like
a good
that.
game.
It's very comparable.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
I've actually never played the Metro games. I bought them when they were
Decent.
$5.
I was gonna say you have them all.
I know, but I never played them. It was $5. I'm like, okay, I gotta.
Like they're
pick
on my
this up.
console. Yeah, you got them all.
That was a steal of a deal.
Yeah, it was one of those things, eh? All right, why don't we move on to one of my favorite segments of What Are We Playing?
Well, this week I was playing The Colonists for our review.
Yep.
Roads. No, I'm kidding.
Those freaking roads.
No, it was like we talked about it in the review. I think it's a good game, and I think a lot of people that are into that genre will get into it. I couldn't do it. You said give it a couple extra hours to feel it, and I did, and
Just didn't feel it.
yeah, I turned Fortnite back on.
Well, that's fair enough.
4-inch Fortnite. Very strange. Represent.
Yeah, you had a busy week, so I didn't expect too much
Yeah.
coming for you to have time to play.
But I tried to give I gave it the good old college try, and I
Sure.
mean, like I said, I know there's good bones there for a good game. It's just maybe not for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nate, what are you playing?
Well, I was playing Starlink, Battle for Atlas.
Sure.
Got to play that quite a bit, which is, if you watched the review, you know my opinion. And I've been playing Destiny 2.
How's that going?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, this weekend I actually got to grind out quite a bit.
Nice.
And for anyone who is playing it, I recommend you do the Halloween quest that they have, because they give you a max level primary weapon.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's not even that, it only takes a couple hours of grinding. Which,
Yeah.
You know, in
That's
some
not too
games-
bad for that game, though.
No, it's not.
No.
When you think about it,
But
right?
Destiny 2, that's definitely my game. I'm almost ready for the raid, which I cannot wait to play.
When is that?
What is it?
When?
Oh, when the raid's actually already out.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's been such a grind getting ready for it, man.
Do you have to be at a certain level?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they recommend 550 power level, but apparently the last boss is 580, which might not mean much to you, but that's pretty hard. Like
That's a
30
significant
30
jump.
levels is a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at 561. So
You want to get to 580?
I'm thinking 570. Or
you-
maybe even 565. Like, I think after this weekend I could probably play the
Jump
raid.
into it.
But you know, the thing is that with that game, you want to find chill people. I hated playing Destiny 1 when you just get someone who's like, "Oh, why'd you die? Why'd you do this?" It's like, man, I'm playing a video game.
Because we die.
Like, it's a video game, guys.
man.
Like, I
You're
do
playing
die.
a raid with random people. What do you expect? And like, who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
But
better,
when you
that
get
game's
in,
better to play with people you know.
yeah, and you know what? I have, like, usually it's my brothers and then maybe a buddy or two, and then we have one or two or maybe three randoms. And you know, when you get a good group of guys where everyone's laid back,
Sure.
it's an experience like none other.
Did you play Gambit?
Oh, Gambit! I love Gambit.
Okay, so Destiny, I was on for a while, fell off. Never big into the PvP stuff at all. Gambit has me interested because of the element and aspect of the game mode itself.
Dude, you can tell they work so hard on mastering the balance between PvP and PvE, because you don't have to be a hardcore PvP player to play that. You can just
Yeah.
be the guy that is killing bots and collecting motes. Whereas, because the way it works is you get to, like, you have to collect these things that enemies drop that you kill.
Yep.
So once you get to, like, your team gets to 25 or 30 motes, you can start going to the other team's side.
Right.
And then you have to kill them, and you can take away motes. Like, I mean, I've lost 15 motes, and that's the max you can collect.
Oh,
So it's rough. And then basically, like, yeah, I lost it for the team. Sorry, guys.
yeah.
My bad.
But it's
that's
just
cool.
it's just such a great balance between, I don't know, like, just everything. It's fantastic.
Nice. Anything else you playing, or is that it? It's probably about it, eh?
And Red Dead too.
Yeah, of course, right then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I just want one quick Red Dead 2 thing, because I haven't played it myself, but a good friend of mine posted a clip the other day while he was playing, and looked like he was on some sort of quest. He was searching for something in the woods, and out of nowhere, this massive bear comes running out of the woods and attacks him. And when I say massive, I mean it filled the whole screen, and it jumped on top of him and bit him, and then he's underneath the thing, and it's like he's battling it, and he ended up stabbing it a bunch of times, and like pulled his gun out and shot the thing, and took this huge bear down. And I was like, I gotta get this game. I'm like, sold.
That is
It is.
awesome.
I mean, it's.
I've
it-
only seen a bear. I was like, okay, I'm not.
It was
staying away
a
from you.
legendary creature. It said when he took
Oh,
it down, and
really?
I was like, okay, so if there's something like this aspect in this game,
Yeah.
it was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I can't wait for you to play it.
Yeah, I gotta hop
Oh,
on.
we all gotta play online too, and that.
Oh yeah, we'll be in online for sure. I think honestly that's the part I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
Now at this point, now that I am a couple hours in,
I can't wait to review.
Yeah.
the
You're like, let me play
online.
this with friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Randall,
Me.
what you been playing?
I've been playing Castle of Heart on the Switch. trying to play it.
Trying to play it.
Yeah, we didn't last on that one. That
No.
was rough.
I may have rage quit a couple times.
That
Just
game
glad the
was-
Switch came back in one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
And little retro, been playing some StarCraft.
Oh, we were talking about that the other week.
Yeah.
HD remake or classic?
No, classic.
Oh,
Wow, nice.
photon cannons.
Heck yeah.
Hey, I
Protoss.
love that photon
Yeah,
cannon rush.
Protoss. Yeah.
Spawn them behind their base.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Been blasting some Zerg in my spare time.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's a great game.
Yo, by the way, I just want to say I was really disappointed that we couldn't play Sea of Thieves this weekend. I was really looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
I don't know. Okay, so
You guys are like, oh, Sea of Thieves. Me and Ben are playing Destiny. We're like, I don't know. And then Randall started talking, and we're like, okay, I'm down. And then Drew's headset.
it's so I don't know. It crapped out completely. The thing's like toast. I have to get a new headset.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I don't know.
You may have lost a friend on this one, Drew. I don't know.
I could hear everybody, but no one could hear me.
Oh, yeah,
And
it
what
sounded like a hurricane. It's like,
I had no idea what's going on,
You're
man.
playing in Florida right now? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know what was happening. I was so frustrated. So Crystal's there, and she goes, "Aren't you playing?" I said, "No." I was just like, "I'm just gonna shut it off." I didn't even play anything. I think I shut it off.
Oh, it was a full-on
It was-
video game rage
Oh,
quit.
speaking-
oh
rage
yeah, it
quit.
was. Oh yeah, my battery's about to die. Yeah, I was so freaking mad because I was all, "Everybody want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's go." No one can hear me. I'm like, "No," and I was.
so just a thought. Why don't we try your phone next time?
I
did
thought of
that
that
with you
afterwards,
guys.
but by that time I was too busy pouting. So
You're too busy. What?
Pout mode, pout mode engaged.
so pissed. No, forget it. I'm done. I
Dude,
should-
what have you been playing? What have you
Okay,
been
so I've been playing a bunch of different things, and that
Yeah.
I think is probably the biggest thing that's hurt me this week to play something and devote time into, like Red Dead, right?
Yeah.
So I've been playing Starlink, review up on our show this week. I've been playing The Colonist, review up on the show this week. I've been playing
Noticing a trend?
Heart of Castle, or whatever the hell that game was, and that's up on the show this week.
Surprise!
So besides that, though, I've also been playing Astro Bot on the PlayStation VR, which will be on the show this week. And I've had a busy week. I'm like, okay, you got.
Had a hell of a week.
Oh my goodness, I've been jumping around and Red Dead and a little bit of Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
So honestly, I've been watching Crystal play that more than anything else because
She's enjoying it though.
she's having a great time. And this lever came out and scared the crap out of her. It was hilarious. It was so fun. She's sitting there, she just jumps right out. It was cool to watch.
It's a good-looking game.
Man, the game is gorgeous.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been like chunking at games. And
Yeah, it's
just
tough
been,
to just dive into one right now.
I
We've
can't
been
see-
busy. We've been really busy, and that's it's the nature of the beast with what we're doing. But
Yeah.
Right.
there's gonna be some games that'll that we're gonna always go back to, especially we've got our Fallouts, our Destinies, our
Yeah.
Fortnites. I mean, I'm a huge
Even
COD
COD.
guy. Like I
Yeah.
want to go home and play some TDM. Like that's
Yeah.
that's still
That's
the
what
COD
we're going to do.
multiplayer is what I'm still down and interested with, and I hop on and play that as much as I can. And now with the Overwatch world starting, I got to get back into that, and I'm excited because that game is fantastic. Like that Overwatch, one of those few games that when it came out at launch, like there was nothing wrong with the game. It was balanced well. The game played really good,
Yep.
and all the content's free. Like you couldn't ask for a better release for a game, and the continuation of all the content they brought out for it has been awesome.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
good.
pay to win. All the characters they've released, which they have
There's
quite
a ton
the
of
roster
characters
now, man.
There's a ton of characters. There was a ton when the game released, and now there's even more. It's wild.
Yeah.
No, it's very cool. I did get back into a little bit of Spider-Man though, which felt great. But at the same time, I jumped back in because I've been away for so long. I'm like, what do I do again? And that's the biggest thing, right? Because what we do is we're pulled in so many different directions. So when you do have like an hour to yourself,
Yeah.
then you jump back into something
What do
and
you
go,
play?
I'm like, okay, I got like 15, 20 minutes today. I'm going to go play this. And then I get in there. I'm like, okay, great. Oh, what does this button do?
Jump again?
I'm
Press select. It's like, oh no, it's B for the menu.
That's right.
It's just like
I'm all over the place, right? And then I just get frustrated. I'm like, why did I even turn anything on? I might as well just go
Start
edit
making
something.
laminated sheets for the games with the controller setup, so when you can just flip through it. Okay, I'm playing this game. Okay, this is all right, perfect.
Oh yeah,
Drew tries to bring it up, and it's like, if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you.
that's right. I was
Figure it out.
I was one of those just an annoying week, right? Like I just
Yeah.
couldn't seem to finish anything. But playing Astrobot, honestly, I played that for a couple hours. That game is awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely need to check out the review on this one. This one, I think, is going to be one of the coolest VR games this year.
Well,
a
they
bold
need
statement.
to hit big
Yeah.
with some of these VR games, right? Because it's still a tough market for a lot of people to break into, right? Because the equipment's a little more expensive, and people pay a lot of money for the consoles they own already.
Yeah.
So if VR comes out with some games that kind of pop, people are going to want to buy those the units, the consoles, right?
Yeah.
To get going with it. So
I would like to see if Sony would consider maybe upgrading their VR headset.
Honestly, okay, so I actually tried the Oculus for the first time this weekend.
And that's where you notice the difference, right?
Oh wow, the
Yeah.
Oculus is
Big
like
difference.
not that the PSVR by any stretch is not a good system, but the comparison you could just tell it was such a clean.
It's night
the
and day.
headset was really cozy. It doesn't feel like a helmet; it feels more like actual headset.
Yeah.
You know, the joysticks both were really comfy. It was just
a better experience.
and straight up, like with the PSVR, I had a really hard time getting it fully suctioned in my face where I couldn't see, you know, the light or my feet.
No, okay.
Where the Oculus, it completely, like, without any
isolates you.
problem, sucked right to my face.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Furious Seas was a stationary game, but if I was playing a game where I'm moving around, I'd be completely lost, man.
Yeah.
Where I was in the room.
They are night and day, right? Like I played Beat Saber, and that was the HTC Vive, and that was a different experience too
Yeah,
from the
the Vive's
PlayStation.
good?
No, the Vive is fantastic, right? Again, it's like the Oculus. It's those two that compare, but then
Yeah.
Sony comes out with their own because they can go in cheaper and already have a platform that people already own.
Yeah, with the console,
Yeah.
right? So it's
So it's kind of, I look at Oculus being in like 1080 and PSVR being in 720.
20.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at things, right? So I would like to see if Sony can step it up, maybe a little bit with another iteration of it,
Maybe
maybe
with a version 2.
a version 2, kind of clean things up a bit, upgrade the hardware, the software, and all that kind of stuff, so that people aren't getting as motion sickness from the PlayStation VR, where they're not getting that with Oculus and the HTC Vive.
And we talked about it last week, but do they wait to do that till the new gen console comes out?
That's
Or-
the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I
because
think so.
if they don't wait and add it to the PS4 now, it's basically going to be inferior at launch. Right?
Well, it could be, but if you make it so it is upgradable, right?
That's true,
Maybe
yeah.
you launch it just before the PlayStation 5,
yeah,
right? Keep in mind, moving forward, it's going to work along with the PlayStation 5.
yeah, you'll have a
So,
It makes me wonder too, because we're on the topic now, sorry to kind of, but
no.
it makes you wonder why they don't have, because like Nintendo as a Switch is completely handheld, why they don't have just a complete system in a VR headset. They have the technology. Why not progress with it?
I don't know. R&D costs a lot of money, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, yeah, but they've already put so much R&D to like things like the Oculus, for example. Why not
Sure.
take it one next step, right?
Yeah, there is an opportunity there. They could. I don't see why not. But
Well, the
it's-
world of VR is very open at this point,
Yeah.
right? We're getting back into it from the old Nintendo VR days. If anybody remembers
man.
that.
Power
the
glove?
the
Power Glove.
that thing you had to sit on the table and be like this, and you couldn't really do
Yeah.
anything. And the moment you turn it, just
Yeah.
Well, we don't forget about the fact that your eyes were bleeding after 20 minutes.
everything was red after that for like 2 days
Yeah,
straight.
you had to go for a nap after you played. It was in the instructions.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where VR goes from here, because it's like you said, there's some new games coming out for VR that look enticing. So
Yes.
where they'll take the technology and what they'll come out with as far as content it's cool.
The other thing is, how many VR headsets do you want to own?
That's true.
Well, that too, yeah.
So that's the problem.
Make it
Everybody starts competing
universal.
against each other, right?
Make it
I
universal.
watched or heard some interesting things about how Microsoft's trying to push getting the Oculus, the Vibe, and I don't know the other name of the headset, but it's like a Microsoft something headset. But all three are going to be on the next gen console.
But that's because Microsoft owns Xbox and allows them to have the console without investing the money into a VR headset. They'll let somebody else worry about bringing that to the table, right? And they can worry about their own stuff.
Yeah, they say, here, come here. We've got a place for you to set your stuff up.
Yeah. So
Let's
they
do
just
this.
set up their hardware,
Yeah.
so it's already ready to go for when Oculus wants to come on board, or the Vive, or whatever wants to come next, right? Where Sony is going, okay, we have to develop a console. Now we have to develop a headset.
Yeah.
So they're R&D in for both of these things, where Microsoft's going, nah, we'll just do the one. You guys can come and join us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a bad deal
it's
at
a
all.
smart move for
oh,
them.
it's fantastic.
It is,
And
yeah.
that's what I said earlier, is that Microsoft is setting themselves up for the future,
Yeah.
where I'm worried Sony is, yeah, they're going for the future, but Microsoft's going to be ahead
They're
of
just
them. I
hanging
think.
out in the present right now, enjoying
Yeah.
what they've got.
Well, you can't blame them either.
down
No,
there.
it's
Yeah.
not like
Down
it's
there
been
for
bad.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not hurting by any means,
No,
right? They've had a
no.
great, successful PlayStation 4, even with the iteration of the Pro.
Yeah.
So I know when they announced the Pro, everybody's like, really? Do we need this? Or are we going to do this every 2 years now? We're going to trade in my phone for another upgrade? Well, yeah, we do that,
Yeah.
right?
We already do.
So now we're going to do that with consoles? Is that the next iteration of consoles? So we're not going to get a true next-gen console? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, like everything that gets released, we know there's going to be a slightly better version coming out later.
Well, that's your biggest fear, right? Like, I bought my Switch and going, do I wait a year and get the Switch 2.0?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you kind of weigh those odds, but I'm like, well, if I want to enjoy the games
wanna
now,
play it now.
I'm going to play them now. So I got to go out and get the stuff, right? Like, if I want my 4K on my Xbox, I got to go get my Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So enjoy that while you can. It's 2 years out. And now we're talking about maybe next-gen consoles. So, yeah, you can never win,
No.
right?
Well,
That's
no,
the thing when it
it's-
comes to this.
It's
So,
constant.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that pretty good for episode 2 for podcast?
Too
I
shabby.
think so.
All right. All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you are catching this on audio services around the globe, and thanks to Steve for hooking us up for all that good stuff.
Way to go, Steve.
Don't forget, you can also check out our website at insidethegame.ca. Each and every week, we have a brand new episode goes live where we cover everything from esports to reviews, the news, VR, interviews, you name it.
Let's
It's
plays.
all there,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
So, all right, until next week, thanks for watching.
And play Destiny.
Because Nate said so.